there. Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are doing well. And I tell you what, it is one icy, snowy day here in my neck of the woods. I hope that if you are dealing with any of this cold weather that's on the east coast of the states, I do hope that you are being safe and adhering to any type of, guidance to staying off the roads, get the streets cleaned off, ice removed, and all that good stuff. What I hear for us, the events are just starting. I think we got up to like 5, maybe I'll say maybe 3 inches of snow, maybe 3 to 4 inches. More is expected. And so, yeah, it's just been one icy, cold day here. But I also wanted to take a moment and really just share my prayers and thoughts to all of you guys who are affected or know people who may be affected by the fires that are happening in LA right now. The footage that I am seeing is just nothing short of tragic, honestly. And it is just so unnerving to see there's so many fires going on at the same time, and feels like they're all colliding together or getting to that point. And then you have the Santa Ana winds that are just keeping things moving and burning, because of the speed of those. I think I've heard up to 90 miles per hour winds. So yeah, in my formative years, I lived in California for about 8 of those formative years as a kid. So I have definitely a connection to California. I absolutely love California. And it just breaks my heart to see any situation in any locations when this type of devastation takes hold, just like the hurricanes in Florida and North Carolina, and the other areas affected by that. And just anytime you see this kind of stuff, it's just so tragic to hear of the loss and the devastation. And there's obviously news around the clock about the fires, and information is constantly being updated from moment to moment to moment. And as of getting this information here ready for this video, they were looking at a death toll of 5. It wasn't totally confirmed yet from the source area that I was looking at, but that's what they're looking at. And the damage toll is astronomical, and it just continues to keep going. And there's at least 5, maybe 6 fires, I think, at this point. And a lot of them are not contained at all. And the ones that have some containment going on, it's a very low percentage. I'm not sure about since the last couple of hours or so, but it's just devastating. And I know that TikTok has had a lot of people come on and speak about, some of the individuals who were affected by and watch their house burn and watch all these things happen. And my heart just goes out to all of you again who are dealing with that. If you're in the vicinity of being able to ever see this video, and for those of you who may have family or friends, or that's a home for you or something like that, my heart and prayers definitely go out to you. And and for all the first responders, doing God's work, helping and, risking their lives as well. And so, yeah, it's just so many prayers that need to go in that direction, amongst so many other things as well. But I wanted to also allow this opportunity in this video to kind of, share about maybe resources, because sometimes when things like these happen, you're always trying to find areas where you can maybe find some way to help. And sometimes it can be disjointed, and sometimes it could be okay. But nevertheless, I thought I would take the opportunity for this video to kind of share some of the resources and some information that's being shared out for people to know and be aware of, as well as it regards to helping if you can in the situation, if you wish to donate and all that kind of stuff, and some of the places that you can actually, connect with in order to do that. So let's go ahead and get into that. It's a 2-part sharing here, so I'll be covering information from 2 areas. So yeah, just sit back and let me go ahead and share with you all that information. Also, too, I'll be obviously providing some of these highlighted items in the description box below, so you have that place for reference as well. And I'm also going to do a community post as well too. So yeah, definitely want to just make sure I get as much information out that I see that appears to be legitimate to get it out to you guys here on the platform. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the first one. So this sharing comes from the Washington Post, and basically sharing about how to help LA wildfire victims and what to do if you need aid. So here are ways to assist both people and animals in need in the wake of the destruction caused by the Palisades and Eaton fires, and I would say more broad from that point as well. It further goes on to share that with the wildfires rushing toward them, tens of thousands of Los Angeles area residents fled their homes this week. Some have already returned to find nothing but ash where they once lived. In the coming days, many more will discover that their homes and belongings have been destroyed. Aid organizations and government agencies have stepped into the breach to keep evacuees safe, compensate victims, and arm firefighters trying to tame the wildfires ravaging the city. To do so, those organizations are opening shelters and providing equipment, deploying volunteers, and pumping money into the affected areas. They're asking for help, and here's how you can contribute. So, helping humans. Many aid organizations are providing relief in the Los Angeles area. Here are a few that are accepting donations. So one, we have the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation. Again, that's the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation. The official nonprofit partner of the city's fire department is asking for donations so it can buy and give firefighters emergency fire shelters, hydration, backpacks, and wildland brush tools needed to stymie wildfires. And it also has an area there where you can click on for here and go ahead and donate. And again, I will have that information in the description area. Next is the World Central Kitchen. They are giving sandwiches, fruit, and water to all areas of immediate need. Several of its partner chefs are on standby, ready to provide comforting meals. You can donate at that location as well. Next up, you have the American Red Cross. They're sharing that they are providing shelter, food, relief supplies, and medical care. Basically says you can find more information in that link as well, and how you can also donate. Again, I will have information down in the description area. GoFundMe has verified and consolidated dozens of fundraisers that victims have started in the recent days. The Salvation Army, Salvation Army is very close to my heart. I had a family member that actually worked at Salvation Army for many, many years. And also too, I'm a veteran, so very connected to that agency. But the Salvation Army is working with government agencies and nonprofit organizations to provide food, personal necessities, and shelter to victims and first responders, including firefighters, police officers, and sheriff deputies. And of course, they have an option to donate at that location as well. Now, moving on to helping the animals, because a lot of people have their furry family members as well to consider in these types of situations. So first up, Animal Wellness Foundation. Again, that's the Animal Wellness Foundation. They're using its old vet hospital to shelter animals donated by owners who evacuated but couldn't take their pets with them. They're asking for donations so that they can house and feed them. And of course, there'll be an option there for you to donate there. The next up is the Pasadena Humane. That's Pasadena Humane. They said on Wednesday night that it had taken in more than 300 animals, some with burns and other fire-related injuries. The shelter is asking people to give money so staff can treat them with medication, fluids, and oxygen. And of course, you'll be able to donate there as well online. Next is Best Friends Animal Society. It's a Utah-based animal shelter, said Wednesday that a fire was dangerously close to its adoption center in LA. So the organization is asking Los Angeles area residents to serve as temporary foster families and to buy the adoption center items from its Amazon wish list. Also, it shares, be careful where you donate during and after a disaster. You can verify a charity's legitimacy on Charity Navigator. And that's an actual link, hyperlink to the Charity Navigator. And I actually looked out there myself, and it says charitynavigator.com. Again, I will have that information in the description box if you wish to check it out. Next up, it shares that wildfires in Los Angeles. Well, here's the latest. At least 7 people. Okay, so as I shared earlier, I had saw 5, and now it looks like there's more. So numbers are forever changing. There's probably going to be unfortunate passing aways after this video is actually uploaded as well, because we just never know. So, but as of this sharing, it's saying at least 7 people have passed away as intensely powerful winds fanned the flames of multiple wildfires around Los Angeles. The Palisades fire has destroyed 5,300 buildings and forced more than 30,000 evacuations on the west side of Los Angeles County. Among the multiple fires are the Eaton Fire, the Hearst Fire, the Kenneth Fire, and the Lydia Fire. follow live updates on the wildfires and track their spread and maps as well. And I will also have the link information for this sharing, because you can actually go onto that page, hit those hyperlinks, and get more information that's up to date, as much as you want to get out there as well. Next up, it says what we know about the fires. Well, the direct cause of the fires hasn't been determined, but a combination of dry conditions and powerful hurricane force winds is propelling the spread. The extreme behavior of the fires so far has made control nearly impossible. And of course, they have an area there where you can actually see photos and videos of the fires in California. And like many of you have probably already done, other than watching the news, you maybe gone online and see for yourself. It is just so devastating. And there is a lot of footage out there in regards to what's going on right now. Says life in Los Angeles. Well, the fires had erupted quickly in a way residents knew was possible, but many were unprepared for. Families of notable sports figures were among those evacuating, and the flames forced cancellations of Hollywood events, while some celebrities' homes were burned down. And I'd also like to mention that it's a possibility that not just the celebrity situation is what's prominent in this situation only, right? I would imagine with a lot of those buildings, probably businesses, livelihoods of individuals who work in those businesses forever changed. If not able to even come back to the space in order to rebuild. There's no way of knowing at this point. So the devastation, I know, goes wide from all individuals, all family members that have dealing with this devastation. So yeah, I would imagine not only just residents, but there's probably some businesses that are having difficult times. There were some individuals who actually were taking a stroll down the streets of which would be busy, bustling areas, public places. All buildings just burnt out. So there's no that there hasn't been individuals affected by this through businesses as well. So yeah, definitely, if you have an opportunity to check out that information and you're interested in knowing other options and how to donate, this is, information here that, again, we provide it in the description area. Also, we'll have a post associated with it, so that way you can navigate yourself to those areas if you should choose to do so, or share the information to others who may be interested as well. Okay, so next up, we are going to go with another sharing from NBCSanDiego.com, because one thing that's real important to understand, of course, and that was mentioned in the previous sharing, is in the part one of it, that is where, you do have to be careful when it does come to situations of donating. And sometimes there are situations where people may feel uncomfortable about the process, because sometimes people use these things, unfortunately, as an opportunity to scam individuals. And so we want to make sure that all your money and donations and all that kind of stuff goes to the places that you deem it to go. So doing that extra research, that extra check to make sure that you're connecting to the place you want to be connected to is highly important in today's age, and has been for quite some time. But again, here we go with another situation that you want to definitely take heed to that as well. So let's go ahead and get into that. Let's see. And again, that's coming from NBC San Diego. So this was a news junket, and they were sharing about what was going on and some helpful things in regards to being aware of, how and, scamming situations for donating and where you want to do that. And so they'll also have some additional information here as to where you could donate as well. So it says, beware of scams when donating to LA wildfire victims. Here's what to know. These tips should help you make sure your donation gets in the right hands. And of course, that's what your ultimate goal is. So seeing all the devastation in Los Angeles County and thousands of people losing everything may make you want to help by donating money, but beware of scam artists. These tips should help you make sure your donation makes it to those who need it and not scammers. Unfortunately, scammers are waiting for opportunities or opportune times like natural disasters to bank on your feelings. Know who you're dealing with before you give out those funds. Manuel Garcia from the Better Business Bureau said, scammers are getting very smart and are using all avenues. According to the BBB, scam artists will target you through text, email, pop-ups on websites, and social media. So be careful where you're clicking, especially on social media. Garcia said, you come across an ad and you click on it, please find out where you are landing. Check the URL and make sure the company is legitimate, because it is very easy to create a fake website. By clicking on a fake website or a suspicious text, Garcia said you are also taking the risk of ending up in the hands of hackers. Now, Garcia said to beware of phone calls asking for donations. If that phone call is legit, they're going to allow you to verify before you donate. There shouldn't be any high pressure when you receive those phone calls of donating at the moment, Garcia said. To make sure you are donating to a legitimate organization, the BBB recommends checking the charity on give.org. Again, that's give.org. I'll again have that down in the description area as well. Or go with well-established organizations such as the following, and they list the American Red Cross, Salvation Army, California Fire Foundation, and the California Community Foundation. And some of those we talked about in the first part of this sharing. It further says that you can also donate at Vons and Albertsons stores at checkout. So I would imagine that's if you're in local areas, and maybe if you happen to live somewhere where there may be a Vons or an Albertsons. I don't know if Vons goes beyond California or not. Albertsons does, but not every location has an Albertsons. But again, Vons, VONS, and Albertsons do allow you to donate at stores at the checkout center. And I would imagine that there may be opportunities, as the days go on, that you might find that in other locations as well. Another tip when researching a charity is find out how much of your donation is going to the cause and how much to administrative fees. Very important. It should be 70 to 75 cents to the cause. Those are good charities that help organizations, Garcia told NBC7. A lot of online fundraisers are being passed around social media. So GoFundMe is working to verify the fundraisers on its site and putting them on a centralized hub. And I think that will be extremely helpful for individuals who tend to go out to GoFundMe location to do their donations and stuff. So it's just an extra layer of security and allowing you to feel, obviously safe, and being able to know that wherever you're sending your funds, it is going to the places that you want it to go to. So I think that is extremely important to have that extra fail safe in that process, because the need, I'm sure, is great. And it's just an unfortunate circumstance. It's an unfortunate situation. There are so many things going on weather-wise. And so these types of things happening is just really much, again, just a tragedy. And so again, my prayers and my thoughts out to all of you who are affected directly, indirectly. If you have friends, families, you're from there, live there, whatever the case may be, having to evacuate there, please do all your ability, evacuate and stay safe. Keep yourself safe, because what is important is you, not the belongings. Although we all understand, when you have things, heirlooms, keepsakes, those type of things, they mean things to you. And so it's so devastating to hear of that loss that's happening. But please, please, please make sure you take care of you and your your pets as well, of course. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that the information is helpful. So, and also, again, just the opportunity to have an area to kind of navigate yourself to where you can donate or give help to, if you should choose to do so by this way. So I will have the information again in the description area below, and I will also have a community post too as another reference, as well as obviously on the video. So thank you again so much for being here. I truly do appreciate it. Again, to all of you guys also being affected by the snow event, winter storm going on the East Coast side or the eastern direction of the states, please make sure you're staying safe as well. From what I understand, of course, it's different situations for each area. And I've heard some people up in North Carolina looking like they're going to probably get in snow. I would imagine Tennessee's probably going to have some issues. Georgia's having some issues, and it's just no telling where this stuff can go. So that being said, I ask that you guys be safe as well, and adhere to any guidance about staying off the roads, so that way that the first responders and people can get out there and get those things cleared up, so everybody can travel safely. And so with that, I think that will about do it for this video. And I, of course, will bid you adieu. If you are new here and you haven't had a chance to subscribe, I hope that you will be part of the family, be part of the community, because I definitely would love to have you. Please be safe, and definitely check on your people, check on your strong ones. There's a lot going on right now, and everybody needs somebody to make sure sure that they're okay, and including making sure you're checking in on yourself too. So that being said, please make sure you have your notification bells on too. I'm going to have several videos popping up here. I believe I will have at least 2 more popping up for today because I'm looking at the time when this uploads, and then I'm definitely going to have one tomorrow as well. So go ahead and keep those notification bells on so you do not miss those videos, and then that way you can also, kind of communicate with me and share your thoughts about those videos down below as well, as far as the content and what I'm sharing in the stories and what's going on, because there's a lot going on, and I'd love to know your thoughts on some of those things. So that being said, with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. So you take care and be blessed. Bye.